Hey, what's up, everybody? BDL44 coming at you with another video. All right, so the Lakers get the win 124-111 against the Golden State Warriors here at home. Warriors were shorthanded, no Wiggins, no Steph, so we were able to take care of business, and it was a fantastic game to watch if you were a Laker fan. 16 of 33-point shots was made tonight. We shoot 33-point shots, we're happy to make 6 of them. I said 16 were hit. It's the best shooting night that we've had in years. And I say years, I'm not kidding. We got a real shooter on this team, ladies and gentlemen. Malik Beasley, 7 of 11 3-point shots. I believe he walked out of there with 25 points, plus 24, plus minus. The dude was just, he was a lethal shooter tonight. And we could not have gotten this done without him. LeBron James had 13 points, 8 assists, 9 rebounds. Of course, you'll look at the 13 points, see 5 of 20 shooting, and say, what kind of night did the King have? But honestly, it wasn't nothing to even worry about, because the 8 assists is what was key there. Because those 8 assists were him getting those passes off to Malik Beasley, and Malik Beasley knocking down 3-point shots for the most part. So this is exactly what you wanted to see when you put Malik in the starting lineup over guys that you would say, yo, why is he starting over this guy, or why is he starting over that guy? Because of the dynamic that we saw tonight. LeBron James just simply has not had a legitimate shooter on the floor since he's been a Laker. And I mean that. Not one legitimate 3-point guy until right now. We got him, and this is the dynamic that we were missing. Life is easy. You see that score? Ran it all the way up. We had 8 players in double figures tonight. I think a lot of that started with just simply having spacing, the spacing necessary to get things going, and then having the bench and the depth necessary to keep it going. And the Golden State Warriors didn't get within any closer than 3 points at any point in time in this game. And it was because of the fact that we just kept too much shooting on the floor. And when you couple that with length and rebounding, you got to give credit to guys like Vanderbilt, Anthony Davis, Mo Bamba, Rui Hachimura, all of those guys who rebounded the ball tonight, making it so that we just did not have to worry too much about anything. We did have 16 turnovers. We would much rather not have some of those. We discussed it at the halftime video, cross-court passes. We just need to kind of identify where we went wrong in regards to that, because I don't think we can get away with how we turn the ball over against a full, healthy Golden State Warrior team, or a full, healthy anybody for that matter. So the fact that they were undermanned really catered to why we were able to have so much success defensively. I think we were able to get out into the fast break, get some easy steals. Some of those steals were unforced, Klay Thompson dribbling off his foot type of stuff. We would send the other way, and you just gotta love that. We were able to take advantage of that a lot tonight. Austin Reeves, 6 for 6. I don't think he didn't miss anything. No free throws, no threes, no field goals. He was just perfect. And we saw what it is that I told you guys to look out for in a previous video I made earlier before the game, which is him making, opportunities for us to have offensive fouls drawn in our favor. You know what I mean? Stopping, offensive plays in their tracks just by drawing contact. So we saw him be able to do that tonight, and I was very pleased with his effort all the way around. It was one of those situations tonight where Vanderbilt. It was an outlet pass that he made I think it was to Austin Reeves, that really just completely blew me away. It wasn't anything special. It was just a subtlety of how he set that play up and getting the loose ball and then putting the ball so far out in front, but in such a perfect positioning for our offensive player to get it and just lay the ball up. It just showed me exactly how much he could bring to the table in so many different ways in one single flurry. It's magic having a guy like that. Even though his hands are not great, he did mess up a play early on, and we've talked about that. How it's been said that his hands are not great, and he will mess up plays here and there when you try to get him the ball. But nevertheless, he'll make up for it in a lot of different areas, and we saw that tonight. We legitimately saw that. Blocks, steals, rebounds, putbacks, things like that. Just very much helpful. I just really like what I saw from everybody. Like I said, 8 players in double figures. It was a lot of garbage time because we did things the right way. We rode a hot hand, simply put. We realized that Malik Beasley could not miss, and we didn't make life hard for ourselves by asking other people to do anything at all. We just got him the ball, and he made the shots over and over and over again. Golden State had no success guarding this man, and we were able to surround our offense off of his stellar shooting. I mean, it ain't deeper than that, y'all. 16 to 33-point shots. he was launching them, and he was making them, and then others did as well. It just kind of became a situation where you saw Troy Brown's three fall, Austin Reeves' three ball fell. Lonnie Walker was able to hit some three balls down the stretch in garbage time. You know, it was just a nice night for that. So that's where it starts and ends for me. I mean, my God, my team just made me very happy tonight. When you get a game where you can just see the ball fall so much, you see defense turn to offense, you see, situations where LeBron James and Anthony Davis both don't really have a big impact. D'Angelo Russell goes down with an injury, unfortunately, in the first half, which is one of those situations where I don't think it was dirty. I don't think Dante DiVincenzo did that on purpose. But some people are saying that. I've already heard the rumblings of people saying they didn't like how that played out. So I'll look at the replay some more. But honestly, it just looked like D'Lo stepped on his foot accidentally as he was stepping out of bounds after laying the ball up. So I don't know. But whatever the case may be, the X-ray came out negative, and hopefully D'Lo will heal up very quickly. So that's what we understand there. But even though he was out, Bron didn't necessarily have his greatest game. AD did not have his greatest game. And we still were able to dominate this basketball game just because everybody else chipped in. And that's really what it is. We didn't want to be Bron and AD centric anymore. One of the things that I said in the pregame video was that we needed Anthony Davis to play at a high level in order to win basketball games. I've been proven wrong. That does not hold up because at the end of the day, we saw how much our team can accomplish without those guys even being a part of it. Now that we've seen this trade go through in the way that it has with these players playing as well as they are. Granted, a lot of that had to do with Golden State not having everybody out there. A lot of things have to do with matchups and things of that nature that really, really fell in our favor tonight. We respect that. But you have to be encouraged if you're a Laker fan that this is getting off to a good start when you consider what the pressure is and what type of intensity we brought to this game. With the exception of the way we turned the ball over in those cross-court passes, which to me was a reflection of us trying something that we're probably going to be wanting to run a lot. I don't think guys were just errantly throwing the ball across, for no reason. I think they were probably doing something that we're going to try to practice. I would suggest we reconsider because it didn't look good against the Golden State Warriors, limited defense, and it ain't going to look good against some of these better teams I've already said. We saw the Golden State Warriors do their best with some of their other players. Patrick Baldwin, Moses Moody played great in the garbage minutes, and I always tell you guys that you got to play your young players. If they're lottery talents and they get off to a bad start, you don't want to get away from them or start having them fall behind in the depth chart, because at the end of the day, they can do more for you in trade than anyone else can. And you're just seeing the Golden State Warriors doing it all wrong, man. You can see it. They did it wrong with Wiseman. They're doing it wrong with Moody. And they're going to lose value because of it. And tonight was a prime example of where they went wrong. You could clearly see they would have had a much better chance if they would have simply played those two players the entire game and set. Who was it that couldn't hit a shot? It was one of them dudes that they had down there that I didn't know who he was. Homie with the curly hair. I think it was one of their rookies. But he was a big body dude playing some nice defense, but he was just bricking shot after shot after shot. I'm just sitting there like, wow, they got Moses just sitting down, huh? Works in our favor, and we were able to run out of there with the victory. And I think that had a lot to do with it. They just didn't lean on the better players they had to do to play it tonight for whatever reason. So I was happy they did it. We got the victory. As I continue to look at the Golden State Warriors, I got to give credit to a guy like what's his name? It always escapes me, man. Not Jonathan Kuminga, although he did play well, dunked the ball pretty heavy and stuff like that. But it was Kevon Looney who was getting, I think it was maybe 6 offensive rebounds that I saw credited to him. He was really dominating out there, pushing AD around, kind of trying to just reminding all of us that AD is not a real big, although he plays the center position and has a big body. He's one of those dudes who was a guard for the majority of his childhood and ended up having a growth spurt. And when you have guys like that, they're not real bigs. You know, they didn't grow up bigs. A guy like Kevon Looney was a big when he was 9 years old. You know what I mean? He's been looking to get rebounds and push people like AD out the way his whole life. So it's going to happen out there when he gets to the pros. And we can't confuse AD's status as a super duper star with somebody who's actually going to be able to out rebound Kevon Looney. Because on there a lot of nights, you're going to see what you saw tonight, where Kevon Looney's just going to walk him under the basket and proceed to get an offensive rebound and lay the ball back up. So, you know, we got to respect that and not ask people to do things that they shouldn't be asked to do. And Anthony Davis being asked to push up against Kevon Looney, we got away with it tonight, but I think we can ask others to do that. We have the roster and personnel to not have to have that happen too often. So, little things I'm looking at. You know, we had a fantastic lob early on in the game. I think it was I don't remember who got the ball to Bron, but he had a fantastic one-handed dunk that I just did not get a chance to see live because I looked away. I guess it was. I don't know what happened, but I missed that particular highlight. But it was one of the better ones of the game. As I talked about at the halftime video, Anthony Davis was just making some fantastic defensive plays in the first half of that game, particularly in the second quarter. You just really saw his defensive genius on display. In the third quarter, though, that's when you saw Kevon Looney kind of press forward and do what it is that we described there. Kind of took AD out of it a little bit, but the score more so was kind of dictating what we saw there. And so, you know, all in all, this was one of the best games the Lakers have played. The only thing that takes away from it was the fact that Golden State wasn't fully healthy, and you know that ultimately played into why you had so much success, which means that we don't really know how much to really credit yourself for how well things went. If you measure it against some of the other teams, though, I will say if we are able to shoot like this, we're going to win games. But we just don't want to turn the ball over as much as we did. You know, that's really what it is. I don't think we turn the ball over too much. It's just the way that we turn the ball over. We can just limit some of those. We really can. So, yeah, I think it was 58 rebounds, 58 to 48, I believe it was. We like that. Definitely want to shoot the ball, rebound the ball well, and continue to put an emphasis on that as we do have the personnel to do so. And what can I say? You know, this is an ultimate team victory. It's an ultimate team win. And the Lakers have a lot on tab going forward. A 3-game road trip where we finally have some understanding of who we're playing. It's going to be the Dallas Mavericks, the Memphis Grizzlies, and or did we have some understanding? It was the Dallas Mavericks, the Memphis Grizzlies, and I guess we don't have understanding. This escaped me again. But I think it's one of those situations where regardless of who you play, there are going to be 3 teams that are going to be Oklahoma City Thunder. That's who it is. You're going to have to understand that playing these 3 teams particularly and beating these 3 teams, it means all the difference, because not only are we going up against them in these particular matchups, but we also have them matched up against us in the standings. So these are 3 teams that you must beat, 3 teams that you're going to see on the road, and it could have a lot of implications for your future if you do not get all 3 of these victories, and that's the key to it. So first up is Dallas. Got Kyrie and Luka, and they have a lot of different players that they're starting to find on their team that can give them some energy and give them some offensive help. It isn't just a 2-man situation there. So, you know, we're going to have our hands full. Guarding the perimeter is going to be everything. And continuing to put the pressure on teams to guard us is also everything. Malik Beasley, he shot fantastic tonight. I'm not going to assume that he's going to shoot like this every night. I'm going to assume they're going to be some 1 for 12 nights ahead because we've let him shoot this well. Now, I don't know if that's going to happen or not, but what I'm saying is if it gets to a point where it looks like that, in any moment, every game we have matters. We can't afford to lose nothing. So I don't know if tonight's a prelude for what we can lean on every night. I don't know. But what I'm telling you is we can't let this be fool's gold. We can't get into a situation where we think Malik Beasley's going to hit 12 threes every night and think that we can win a championship off of that. We have got to get Anthony Davis his looks, and we got, like I said, we got to work on other aspects of the game to continue to work for us. 8 players in double figures means that it was a team oriented win. So we can't fall in love with anything just like we didn't tonight. I just feel like this was the best opportunity for us to see exactly what we can do when we do things properly. When the team sacrifices, everybody gets a chance to play. Even Lonnie and Devon got a chance to play. Why? Because we blew that team out. And that's going to be the key to getting everybody on the floor. It's not messing with people's minutes and or rather putting people on the floor for the sake of minutes. No. It's blowing people out in the first 2 minutes, doing whatever you got to do to strategize in the first 2 quarters, rather, and then put yourself in a position at garbage time to where everybody can play. Then you don't have any of these problems. You're winning, people are playing, everything looks great, guys are resting. It's beautiful because we've strategized, sacrificed early, taking care of what we need to take care of the free ones, making free throws, etc., not turn the ball over, etc. And then from there, you got a free quarter to play everybody. So that's what I think tonight's recipe for success. Granted, you don't expect to blow people out every night, but if you lean on the hot hand and you lean on what works, shouldn't be a reason you don't have success. And we have plenty of players that can give us that every single night from here on out. So, without D'Lo, obviously we're going to be leaning on Dennis Schroeder as a point guard. I like him to a degree, but we saw issues tonight with him getting shot over. We saw issues with him tonight, being sealed off on guys like Klay Thompson and Klay having a good time shooting over him. I just don't need that, man. I don't need that. I need that to be Austin Reeves in situations. I need that to be LeBron James ball handling with other guards on the floor. If not, there are other ways we can go to get our playmaking. We have plenty of talent on this team. There's no reason to have size mismatches. I don't want to bring up size mismatches too much more because we have way too much size on the team for that to even be a problem. And yet, we saw it in key moments tonight where it happened to be there. So, yeah, that's all I'm gonna say about it. All in all, there's not a whole lot to complain about. This was an excellent basketball game. There's a lot of good high energy. I thought there was a playoff atmosphere. I thought we were physical. And I just thought the guys made up for certain types of mistakes. I didn't think Rui Hachimura had the best first half. I thought he played great in the second half. I didn't think Mo Bamba had the greatest first half. I thought he played great in the second half. So those are the type of things that really stood out as well. With Austin shooting the ball perfect, and just ultimately seeing a lot of what it is that I want to see from my team when we have this type of urgency in place. When you know for a fact that you must win just about every game left, you want to get out to a good start. And so that's what this was, a nice home win. All the stars are in the house. And you saw the Los Angeles Lakers take care of business against a Golden State Warrior team that didn't have everybody. So that's what it is. There were some other highlights and some pointers that I really, really wanted to bring up, some things that stood out. I just wish they would come to me. But, when you talk about a game like this, what comes to mind is just D'Angelo Russell's ankle. You want to make sure that you don't rush him back out there to be hobbled. And the one thing about D'Angelo that I've always understood is that he's not the most athletic player in the world. So, he rolls an ankle. You send him out there too early. He becomes a defensive liability. Maybe his shot is not falling because his leg strength ain't there. You just don't want to play around with guys like that, and you want to let them heal. So everything is crucial. We got to be methodical about everything. There's a sweet balance between not wanting to load manage and also making sure guys heal from injury. And we saw tonight, Austin Reeves is fully healed. We saw exactly what he can do for us at full strength. So we just got to make sure that everybody gets healed up from these injuries. Lonnie Walker, same thing. Because of all this sitting he's been doing, all them little injuries he's been dealing with, they're gone. His three-point shot and his leg strength is 100%. And I want the Lakers to look at that and lean on him in the next game a little more because he's going to have fresher legs because he didn't play tonight. So these are the type of things that depth gives you an opportunity to explore. A guy like Malik Beasley played 1 million minutes tonight. Maybe he doesn't have to play as many in the next game, depending on how things look for matchups and stuff like that. Because at the end of the day, that's what we have in front of us, is not only the pressure to beat teams, but also the balance to stay healthy and the pleasure of depth from which to do so. So that's something we got to take advantage of. And I thought tonight was a fantastic indicator that we may be able to do that with the extra time that we got from this blowout victory. So, yeah, man, great team win, Los Angeles. Great team win. I'm not sure who I give the game ball to. Early on, I felt it should probably go to Austin Reeves just for shooting perfect. But you got to consider Malik Beasley and the three-point shot that you just could not possibly have gotten away with without him shooting this well. You couldn't have won without him shooting like that. And the fact that he had fantastic plus minus on top of it just helps you understand exactly what his shooting did for this particular matchup. Given the fact that he had plus 24, I believe it was, as I said. And, it's one of those things where it's like, look, you remove him from this game, and I don't even know if you win. And see, this is another one of those situations where it's like, you just really have to tip your hat to Rob Pelinka for the trades that were made because, Jordan Poole was killing us in the first half. Klay Thompson had it going from behind the arc. I don't know this is the type of game you could have some of the, and I'm not going to, try to bash nobody. This is not my mindset, but I don't think you can bring in some of them dudes we had on the team in the first half of the season in a game like this and have the same type of outcome. You're just not going to. You know what I mean? Yeah, granted, we shot 30 shots from behind the arc, and I'm pretty sure the old team would have shot 30 shots from behind the arc, but as I said, we only would have hit like 6 of them. And so what I mean, for us to shoot from above 50% from behind the arc on only 30 3-point shots, we haven't won a game like that in over 2 years. It's been over 2 years since the Lakers have had any type of 3-point shooting success like this. And so for me, it was just a real pleasure to watch, man. Honest to God, I never thought I would be this happy with Malik Beasley. Not to say that I was down on Malik, but I just don't think much of shooters like that. It's like, oh, okay, he's a shooter, all right, he can hit shots, all right. What else can he do for you? Probably not a whole lot. That's my thinking. But when you don't have shooting, and you haven't had shooting in years, and you get a shooter like this who's just ice cold, entering his prime, not even 27 years old, and he's shooting in this type of with this type of confidence, it's like someone brought manna from heaven. You know what I mean? It really is. So I want to tip my hat to Rob Pelinka for acquiring that particular piece, and I think he made the difference tonight, and he's been the difference against Golden State twice now since we beat them over the last 2 weeks. Now twice, and have looked very good against them. Hopefully we can have the same happen later on in the month that's coming up. I think we played them on the 4th of March or something like that. We expect Steph Curry to probably try to play in that game. We do expect him to probably try, and so I'm sure Wiggins, hopefully, everything goes well for him in his personal world. He'll be back too, and we'll have to face a real Golden State team that will be intent on reminding us how this particular matchup went and the last one. So we'll be ready for them. We'll be ready for Dallas too. Everybody needs to be ready for it because at the end of the day, we can't afford to lose. Nothing. We're trying to make the playoffs, and we're trying to, meet the urgency of LeBron James' particular timeline. And so everything else is just a non-factor. We got to win. I like the intensity we brought to tonight. That's what we need every night. We can't look at this win and say, okay, we won, and then proceed to take the next game off or not have that same energy for the next couple games. If you're going to bring it to this one, understand why you brought it to this one. It's because you must win all of these games. So it has to be the same intensity each night, each possession, each and every time. And so I look at a guy like Mo Bamba and the way that he passed the ball tonight in the fourth quarter. We were up by, 18? He kind of just had a little laissez-faire, so to speak, type of cross-court pass, and it got tipped away. And it didn't have any impact on the game whatsoever. But what I'm telling you is that approach in this circumstance tells me that Bamba don't understand what we're dealing with. Like he's not actually as focused as he needs to be to really embrace what it is that we're doing. He needs to mature right now. Like that type of stuff under these circumstances, I would sit you for that because you don't get it. It's like you got to understand every possession matters. We must win every game. And our approach to each and every possession has to be intentional. Or else we're going to slip in other possessions. We're going to slip and find ourselves throwing the ball away in situations where we don't need to be doing that, where the game is much closer. So the fact that he was just like, the ball didn't go. Nah, bro. That ain't Laker basketball, homie. Nope. So it's a certain approach and it's a certain maturity that I want our young players. I don't care if it's the first minute, the final minute, up 20, down 20. I don't care. We got to be intentional within these 23 games because that's what it's going to take for us to meet our goal. You have to be methodical. You got to nitpick everything, and you got to understand what that pressure is doing to you. You know, that pressure is supposed to force you into that type of perfection. It's supposed to force you into understanding that that's what you have to meet it with in order to defeat it. So that's what I'm telling people. Focus, straighten up, mature, fly right, and understand. We got one win here. We got 22 more games we got to play. I want to see us try to win all of them. I don't care who the opponent is. If we're doing what we're supposed to do, we got enough to beat them. Because we can clearly see our 1, 2, and 3 didn't have the biggest night tonight, and we still had victories. A victory credit to our belt. And that stands for something even against a hobbled team. So, big win, Lakers. Big win. Good form to the opponent. I thought they played pretty well. You know what I mean? Give credit to Ty Jerome. Since I've been bashing his name all night, he barely missed any shots. So I'm going to give him his credit since I've been using him as an example for somebody who shouldn't have been playing as much as somebody else. I actually don't think he was the greatest example now that I look back on that. I think it was the other dude with curly hair whose name ain't coming to me right now. We didn't hit a shot. He the one should have been sitting. But nevertheless, that's how that goes, man. I'm glad they played him. We got the victory. Lakers win. 22 more games to play, man. This season's going to be tight. This is probably the easiest game we're going to face of them all. I'm just going to be honest with everybody. It does not get any easier at all from here. All of these teams are expected to be more healthy than the Golden State Warriors were tonight. And all of these games are going to be playoff atmosphere games, not just because of what we got going on, but because of what those teams have going on. They're going to be intentional on beating us for their reasons. They want to make the playoffs. They got their own worries. And I'm telling you, if we don't meet the intensity of their circumstances and our own, we're gonna fold under the pressure of great players playing great against us. Kyrie Irving, Luka Doncic, it ain't gonna be easy. It ain't just us worried about what we got to do. So even though the media will center everything around the Lakers, and everybody else will too, they'll tell us we got the least amount of odds to make the playoffs and that we're going to have all the pressure. No. OKC got pressure. Minnesota got pressure. Memphis got pressure. Dallas got pressure. Denver got pressures. All of these teams, Phoenix, Clippers, Kings, you're in a dogfight with all of them. Grizzlies, you're in a dogfight with all of them. So any of these teams could fall out of playoffs right now. Couple losses, rolled ankle, good winning streak from a different team or two. All of these teams are in trouble. So we got to make sure that we're the ones that are doing what we need to do and taking advantage of everything. This is why I'm getting on Mo Bamba about that dang turnover in the last couple seconds of the game. Because I'm telling you that the team that's going to win the championship is getting on that player for doing that. And the team that's not giving him no hell for that is going to be the team that loses to the team that does. It's that simple. My name is BDL44. I thank you all for watching. I'm out.